Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. In our spiritual pursuit, we often come across a question. Is there a way to measure the spiritual progress? Yes. The answer is we can keep track of the spiritual progress by a simple technique, by creating, maintaining, and benefiting from a spiritual scorecard. I learned this simple technique in Sandipani and very, very useful. So I thought I'll share that in this brief, short video. In the worldly transactions, we always want to measure things as we carry out any action, whether it is a project at work or a project at home or project at ashram. We always want to attach some numbers so that we can see the progress. Now, when it comes to spirituality, we learned it from our Guruji that spirituality is not a particular action. It is the vision behind all actions. So we wonder, is there a way to somehow embed the measurement as part of this vision? Whether we are junior sadhakas or whether advanced sadhaka, this question always comes. For an advanced sadhaka, maybe the question will be in a different form. Am I there yet? So how do we keep track of, or create and keep track of this scorecard? Now, the technique involves, in terms of monitoring, 6 R's. R is in Rama, that R. 6 R's we have to manage. Now, for anything we want to improve, we know that there are certain things which we have to increase our intensity, and there are certain things which we have to reduce our involvement. Right? So similarly here also, there are 3 R's which we'll have to watch for reducing in terms of numbers. And the other 3 R's in terms of increasing the numbers. Now, let's first look at the first 3 R's for which actually we'll have to reduce the numbers. First in that, before I take it, let me take an example. Okay. So we want to reduce the numbers. Now, take a negative emotion, any negative emotion. Of course, we have a number of them, right? We all face a lot of negative emotions, anger, jealousy, loneliness, guilt, all those. Now, let's take anger as an example. Now, first R in the category of reducing is recurrence frequency, R for recurrence frequency. How many times I am getting angry month over month? Supposing I'm able to measure, let us say, keep track, in January I got 10 times angry. And in August, 6 times I got angry. That's an improvement. Recurrence frequency is reducing. Then the second R is recovery time. Each time when I get angry, how much time actually it takes for me to recover back? Say in January, it has taken 3 hours. And in August, after 8 months, each time I'm getting 1 hour only to recover. That means it's a tremendous improvement. So the recovery time is improving, right? Improving in terms of reduction in that recovery time, right? 3 hours versus 1 hour. Then the third R is reaction intensity. How intense it was when I reacted, when I got angry. In January, supposing it was heavy intensity. Intensity was very heavy. Whereas in August, it was milder. Yeah, I reacted, but it was milder. So if you look at all these 3 numbers, with respect to this example, my recurrence frequency was down from 10 times to 6 times, January to August. My recovery time was also reduced. 3 hours to recover each time when I got angry versus 1 hour I got to spend to recover. So that's also reduction. And the reaction intensity also was less. It was very heavy in January, but whereas the reaction was there, but it was mild. So that way, if we can focus on these 3 hours to reduce, then that is one set. Simultaneously, we focus on the other 3 hours where we have to increase. And what are those 3 hours? Regular satsang is the first one. Increase the number of times we participate in satsang. We all know that attending even 1 hour satsang in a week or study group, how we all get charged for the rest of the week. And imagine if we are able to attend more and more satsang and then also be with company of good people. So we have to increase the regular satsang, number of times we participate in satsang. A tremendous flow of all Shankaracharya says that will lead us to Jivan Mukti. Now, the second hour to remember is remembering the teachings. The teaching should come very handy at the right time. Right? We are studying so much, we are trying to reflect so much, but when it comes to rubber meeting the road, at that time the teaching should be available. When I go to the mall and when I see a new gadget, even though I don't need it, the gadget is attractive because, the advertisements, and also my neighbor has got it. He was raving about it. So I tended to buy. At that time, Bhavasuke Doshan Sandhiyata. What we learned in Sadhana Panchakam, Shankaracharya is saying that, any object may look pleasurable. Remember that it comes with dosha. It comes with dukkha. Bhavasuke doshanu sandhiyata. That teaching should come in our mind immediately. Oh yeah, no, I don't need it. So that's the application of the teaching, remembering the teaching at the right time. So that's the second R. And the third R we have to increase on is remembering Bhagwan. Of course, we may remember a couple of times in a day when we go to puja room and all that. But how nice it will be if we're able to remember him more and more number of times in the day, if we can increase that. And it will have tremendous effect because more the number of times we remember him, he is there in our mind, and whatever we desire becomes his will. Whatever we do, whatever we speak, it becomes his will. Like Guruji says, Ishwarecha adiriktame ma bhuya kamana kadam. May I have no desire other than the will of God. So that will happen if we increase the number of times we remember Bhagwan. So to summarize, 3 hours to reduce recurrence frequency, recovery time, reaction intensity. 3 hours to increase regular satsang, remembering the teaching, and remembering Bhagwan. So if we can focus on this and keep a scorecard, I'm sure it will definitely help us. Our Shastras guarantees that if we start walking the path, we'll see the improvement. Purification of the mind will happen as per Guruji, and that will help us, our mind, to acquire more knowledge. Clarification of knowledge will happen, and you will recognize your Purnatva. That's the assurance from our Shastra. So let's start this scorecard and benefit from that. 6 hours to reduce, 6 hours to increase. Hari Om. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om.